Hey guys, what's going on? Iconic Repaints here. We got another custom Funko Pop to show off today. And right now, right off the bat, I can tell you this is probably one of my favorites. I know you're going to hear that a lot from me as time goes on. But as you know, in the time of this recording, this is easily one of my favorites that I've pulled off. I didn't quite expect it to come out as good as it did. A lot of it is just kind of like experimenting on things as I was in the process of doing so, and liking how it turned out. But I'll get into that more in a second. So this is a custom of Jason Voorhees. He's obviously an already existing Funko Pop with an entirely different kind of color scheme, and Jason has been probably one of my favorite horror icons in pretty much my life watching all these movies. But I would also say that he is probably among uh, the most recognizable movie characters in every genre. And I know that the holy trinity of horror, in the slasher field is pretty much Freddy Krueger, Jason Voorhees, and Michael Myers. I would argue, in my opinion, that Jason and Freddy are probably just a slight notch even more infamous. So this was really a blast to work on. I'm sorry for the quality of the video. It's on a cell phone. I'm trying to kind of get this out in a hurry because I finished him yesterday and I sold him yesterday. So, and I sold him to a really good friend and, a couple that's actually a really big fan of everything Friday the 13th. So this one's special to me. I really hope they love it, and I want to get this out to them ASAP. So basically, what I did with him is I'm a big fan of the zombie Jason, and I know for people who are unfamiliar with the series, basically Jason started off um, basically kind of like a more deformed human-esque kind of quality of serial killer. He would run, he would jog. You could kind of beat him up a little more and all that stuff. So I think halfway through the series, around the sixth movie, he was actually killed, and they brought him back through some, basically he got revived through like a bolt of lightning, and he came back as a zombie version of himself, which pretty much today is the most is the most understood version of Jason. It's the one I prefer. He's more unstoppable. He walks everywhere, but yet he somehow always catches up to people. He seems to like teleport. You're running and you look behind him. He's way behind you, just like taking his time, and then all of a sudden you look ahead and he pops out of a tree in front of you. There's just multiple examples of him doing supernatural things like that, especially when he became more of an undead kind of being. So with this pop, I wanted to kind of show love to a few different versions of Jason and pretty much all the zombie versions of him. And so, like for instance, like I changed the color of his outfit. It's that's reflecting of the sixth movie, I believe. And then, for instance, I wanted to do like the chips in his mask a little bit. That's kind of like a callback to the seventh movie where he was really like an unstoppable zombie. Basically, had like his spine hanging out and everything like that. He was like he, he was in that movie. He had to basically fight somebody who had like almost you know telekinetic abilities, so it kind of evened out. I mean, Jason kind of got his ass kicked a little bit, but to everyone else, to all the regular human people, he was unstoppable. So, I did things like that, and just kind of really happy with the way this ended up looking. So I changed the skin tone to look more undead, and what I did with this pop actually is I used my Dremel kit and I basically kind of chipped away at some of the paint everywhere, and it revealed a cool color underneath the clothes and the knuckles. If you see like in his hands, that's basically just a Dremel to the hands, and it shows the color of the pop underneath the paint. Um, I added some damage and wear and tear to the machete, which is his iconic weapon, and I wanted to do like one half of his mask, like it was on fire, like, and I think that is actually something that, this is just off of memory, but that reminded me of the eighth movie, where his mask was like floating in like acid, and I think half of it was like burned up. So definitely a few different callbacks. It's not really precise to one particular Jason. I do have an idea in my head now to um, do a version of Jason from every movie, but I need to find mix and match the heads to the right bodies for that. So that will take some time. Otherwise, yeah. So that's pretty much the gist of it. I use an X-Acto knife to carve up real holes in the masks. I added like the what is kind of reminiscent of the axe cut in the top of the mask from part five, where little Tommy Jarvis basically saves his sister and just whacks Jason in the front of the face with an axe. So yeah. So otherwise, you see everything. Oh, another thing is that with this pop, it was the first time I used this brand new matte finish, a sealant. And usually, I have like I've had a normal version, like a regular clear finish sealant, and a glossy sealant, which I use for more like cartoon and animated looks or video game characters. This one I used the matte for the first time, and I gotta say I really love how this turned out. I think it's a beautiful finish. It's definitely a grittier, toned down look, and I think the black wash that I put on after I painted the rest of the colors, it really helps bring out this like kind of like decomposing look to him. So everything on him worked out perfect. Like I said, a lot of it really wasn't planned. I just kind of went with it and felt it out, and I'm really happy with it. So, um, yeah, so if you have any comments or suggestions or anything like that, just feel free to comment below. I appreciate you watching. See you next time.